Hey, what's up, social studies listeners? You
Hey,
got
guys.
you got a sick Gaspar and a sick Joe
Joe.
coming to you today. So, yes.
So if
Gaspar,
if you want to get sick, this is the episode to listen to.
listen to this episode so you can get sick too. One of my friends texted me today. He's like, "What if you have RSV?" I'm like, "What if you have? Shut the fuck up! Like, stop."
Isn't RSV for babies?
That's what I thought, but apparently it's like building around. Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah, this is gonna be a
We'll
hard
keep
one
our
to listen
coughs to a limiting. We'll keep our coughs to a minimal. I would try to cure my ailments, but I still can't swallow pills. I thank you, the many, many, many of you who sent me tips and suggestions on how to swallow pills. Some of you want me to like eat a whole water bottle while I have a pill in my mouth. Some of you want me to turn my head to the left. Some of you want me to hang upside down while drinking a cup of water with my pants off. A lot of weird stuff came in. It didn't work. My
Did you
esophagus
try?
is still cracked. I didn't try any of them because it's mental.
It's
Putting a pill in my mouth, turning my head to the left, and chugging a water bottle is just going to make me choke looking left.
What a journey. We have the best fans. But before we get into it, what shows do you have coming up?
So in December, I have a bunch of like little private things going on. But if you want me to come to your school, or if you want me to come to your area and you want to do something private, I could definitely do that. But
that sounded so sexual. If you want me to come to your area and do something private, weirdo.
Private in a sense where you give me money to perform.
Okay, I'll take it.
Sexually. January 7th. January 7th, I'll be in Austin. That's Austin, Texas. January 28th, I'll be in St. Louis. February 22nd, I'll be in Boston with Jimmy Cash. February 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I'll be in Spokane with Joe and Spokane, whatever. And March 31st and March 1st, I will be in Rochester, New York. So get tickets at the newly websited GaspareRandazzo.com. That's GASPARE.
Hey!
Randazzo, RANDAZZO.com. It's not fully finished yet, but just go on it anyway.
Can you guys believe it? Oh, that's what peer pressure does to us. This weekend, I'm going to be in Boston. Super excited for it. I'm at the Wilbur Theater on the 18th and the 19th of November. Got a few weeks off for Thanksgiving. Then I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of December. Then I'm going to be the whole week, the 12th and 13th. I have shows in Appleton, Wisconsin. We blew one out, so there's still tickets for the other. Then I'm going to, actually, my bad, I lied. It's the 13th and 14th. Then the 15th, I have two shows in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Get your tickets for that. And then that weekend, the 16th and 17th, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. So bring me some bourbon and come to the shows and we'll see you there. And then I got a bunch of shows for 2023 all lined up. Can't wait.
When you are in Kentucky, are you going to be anywhere near Hodgeville?
I don't know what that is.
Not far from Lexington.
What's the significance to you?
That's where Abe Lincoln was born, Hodgeville, Kentucky.
Oh, Christ.
You could visit the well that he drank from as a young child.
I think I'm going to pass, but I do love that for you.
I actually took my wife there on our honeymoon.
And you choked on his well water.
A tax write-off. I took her.
Wait, it was a tax write-off for real?
Well, because I'm a teacher for history. I was there for educational purposes.
Dude, I one time went to an aquarium with Morgan. It was like right when my first video went viral. And when we like paid to get in, she was like, "Are you a teacher?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh my God, did you see my video?" And she's like, "No, teachers get a discount. So I just wanted to see if you qualify." It's like, shit.
That's funny.
What happened with a contractor?
Oh, so a few things. Let's just address some stuff from last week's episode. You guys were very receptive to this last week's episode. We got tons of teacher salaries sent to us. I got majority at 99.9% of people agreed with me that Melissa shouldn't have thrown out all the food in the fridge. And the people who agreed with her were people who knew her. And that's why they're friends. That's why they're friends. Also, I become so like there's this big joke at work that I just talk to random people and I become like friendly with them. So you tell me if you think this story is weird. So this guy was doing work in my house, right? And he was a contractor. And he would come and do work and whatever. But he was there redoing my bathroom and he was there for a few weeks, right? So we became friends, obviously. Like he's in
Weird.
my
It's weird.
house.
Yes.
Why?
It's weird.
He's working. I'm a man in my house. So we would just hang out and like we became friends. So one day he saw my tattoos on my legs and he saw that I had superheroes tattooed on
And
my
he was
legs.
like, take your pants off.
No, I showed him all of them, all the way up to my hip bone. And
Wait, inside and outside of your legs?
yeah, I'm completely covered everywhere except my arms.
Please pause this story for a second. Where do they like? So it goes up to your. Yeah, like do you have them on your ass? Do you have tattoos on your ass?
No,
cheeks?
everything ends like at private parts.
And like abruptly, or
No,
like does it look like you have a tan and you were just wearing a little bathing suit and like that's not colorful?
I guess if you could look at it like that. I never thought of it like that. It just looks like I'm wearing short shorts, but like crotchless ones.
Crotchless short shirt. Oh, so it goes all the way around your penis.
No, it doesn't. No, not that crotchless.
Okay.
Open crotch. I don't really know. This is like when I saw the guy with the harness. I don't really understand how it works.
Quick segue before you finish the story. So sorry. I dragged Gaspare into a gay bar and there was a man in a harness and he couldn't believe what he was saying. He's like, what is this? What's happening? It was the best experience of my life.
I was like, I think we're in the wrong place. This is a horse racing situation.
It's like, no, I
no horses.
think we're in the right place. But you made friends with all the lesbians real quick. That was a good one.
I don't remember, but
good times. Sure. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, so we became friends. So then he was like, "Oh, I really want to see the new Avengers movie." I was like, "Me too." So then, like, we kind of just looked at each other, and he was like, "Let's."
No,
do
you
it.
didn't.
So we went and saw. So, but I kind of outsmarted him. I was like, "Oh, you buy the tickets." I was like, "I'll buy the tickets. You buy the concessions," because I knew I could eat $15 worth of snacks. So I figured it was a win for me. So I paid $30 for the tickets, got the tickets, and then we met at the movies. There was nothing weird and romantic. He didn't try the popcorn trick on me. I got an extra large popcorn, extra large drink, and a candy because I was like, he's going to spoil me. And
no, you got an extra large popcorn because he's Dominican.
and we went to movies, and we became kind of friends, I guess. Like,
what's his name? Can we give him a shout out? No. Okay, no shout out to
friend.
Yeah.
So then like we just became friends, I guess. I don't know. And then like I was trying to explain to my wife, I was like, he works all day. He probably doesn't have time to like go out and mingle. And then he was like, oh, we should go out another night together. So I was like, oh, we could go to a bar and watch the game. And I was like, oh, no, I said, let's go out with our wives. Like we could do dinner or something. And he was like, no, just me and you. But then I was like, you know what? He probably just wants to go to the game and like watch a football game on TV, you know? And then that's what started it. Then all my friends made fun of me because then like he would come over and help me do like miscellaneous things around the house and he refused to take money. And then, but it was a friendship. And then like once I had the Con Edison guy come, you guys have Con Ed, right?
Don't know what the hell that is.
Con Ed is like the gas company come, right?
Oh,
the guy came. He was outside my house. He was reading the meter. We started talking. I wanted to know how they read the meters. Next thing I know, he was like looking to buy a house, this and that. I invited him in because I wanted to show him a house on my block, what they kind of looked like. He ended up coming in. My wife came home. She's like, why is the Con Ed guy sitting on our couch in his dirty ass clothes? And
wait, the Con Ed guy is different than the contractor?
Yeah, this is the Con Ed guy. We just became friendly. I don't know. We just were talking. We exchanged numbers because he was looking to buy a house. So I was trying to help him. He was a young kid. I saw a lot of myself in him. Don't make a joke there. And I was like, he was young, getting married. He was buying a house. At one point, I was young, getting married, buying a house. So I was trying to help him. So like this just led everybody at work to think that I hang out with all these like randoms. And then the guy who set up my Verizon, his name was DJ.
No, Gaspar, shut the hell up. Now it's too far.
His name was DJ Noel Nightmare, and he came to set up my cable. Next thing I know, it's 8 hours later. We had a barbecue. We barbecued. We sat in the yard. We were hanging out. We had a great time. I was home all summer so I had nothing to do. So I was like, whatever, let him hang out. And he was like, oh, I'll just say the job took mad long. So we ended up hanging out. He became like the cable guy, though, because then I saw him once. I was walking down Richmond Ave, like a street, and he saw me, and he whipped a U-turn in his van. He was screaming, Gaspar, what's up, man? How's your cable? And we were like joking around. I don't know. He got weird, though, so I didn't hang out with him ever again.
Why?
Why'd he get weird?
Yeah, and also you gave him a shout out. We said his name.
Yeah, but I'm not friends with him.
Well, he knows where you live.
No,
this is also how horror movies start. Gaspar.
My old house. But that was the DJ. He used all his videos on YouTube were just him wearing a mask, DJing in an empty room. And then we watched him on my TV while we just sat in the room barbecue. I barbecued, brought in all the hot dogs and hamburgers, and we just sat there eating. And Melissa came home. She's like, why is he still here? Like, he was here at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 5. And I'm like, I don't know. We just been hanging.
Gaspar, you're going to be murdered, and I'm not going to be surprised.
This is just a New York way of being friendly.
No.
Actually, it's more Southern
New York and friendly, you don't even know your own people. This is the New York way of getting slaughtered underneath your staircase.
Yeah, but like the thing is, if you make friends with them, they don't want to kill you.
Listen to you. You are like first of all, this has been a way of life for you since you were 13 because you met a stranger on the internet down Bath Avenue. Now you're inviting cable people over and you're going to drinks with the contractor.
But this is all just like my parents were like this too. Like when I look back, like we always had just people like you'd meet somebody and you just become friends with them. I don't know.
But like in like a normal setting.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my dad used to talk to everybody too.
So my one really good friend, I'm not going to say his name. He's one of those gays where you would have absolutely no idea until he tells you, right? Like not even a glimmer, right? And has also a like hyper masculine profession as well.
Okay.
I forget how they met, but he somehow became friends with this guy who was like, they met like at the gym in some weird way or something like that. And then they started like hanging out and like going to do stuff. And then they started going on bike rides and they started like taking trips together and it started to get like oddly romantic.
Was the guy gay?
So then he told the guy, he didn't even hit on him. He like told the guy like that he's gay. And the guy flipped out, flipped out because he thought that it was like a romantic thing. Like he had gone on all these dates with this guy. And he was just like, no, I'm just gay. Like I'm just gay. But he like freaked out, like big hardcore freaked out.
But you know what it is? That's fucked up though.
Tell us.
No, but that's fucked up because not like he was hitting on him. I mean, if you said he wasn't and they were just friends, like, just because you're gay and I'm not, I don't think if we're ever together that I'm like, oh my God, I'm on a date with you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I totally get that too.
Yeah.
But I also don't know that I would just befriend somebody who's like working on my house. Not because I don't think that they're good people, but because like they're working for me. Like what if I need them again and then like the second time it goes bad, Now I can't bitch you out.
I don't know. I liked his work, I guess, so I just trusted him.
His art. But
you know what's crazy?
Tell me. No, I need it. No, What's crazy, Gaspar?
If I think it's crazy. No, but as an adult, it's very difficult to make friends. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, all right, so like for that guy.
Yeah, we became friends, and you're probably like the first actual friend that I've made in my adult life in like 4 years.
Oh,
You don't just like make friends like you're in fucking elementary
But
school.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I actually felt bad because I'm like, it's the guy and his two workers, right? The two workers didn't really speak great English. So, like, what is their relationship?
Wait, hold on. Wasn't Lucy speaking Spanish to them when they were at your house? And they kept calling her senorita?
That was different worker. Yeah, we had, when we were getting the house painted, Lucy would stand there and they would teach her Spanish and she'd be yelling at them in Spanish. Trabaja, trabaja. Which means
what did they call her again? They called her
like Senorita Lucy or something.
No,
like
they called her Boss Baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, but like chubby one, like Gordito Boss Baby.
It was the funniest shit, you guys. Gasper sending me videos of like Lucy, who's 3 years old. Two, and she's literally in the house pointing her fingers, like telling them what to do, speaking Spanish to these guys. It was the cutest shit in the world.
And they loved her. It was great. They would let her paint.
She was sitting in her tiny little chair, just watching them like paint and do their work. Oh my God. That was so funny, Gasper.
Those are good pictures. Yeah, those are good pictures.
So funny. So funny.
But what I was going to say is like, it is really difficult as an adult. Like, all right. So like sometimes like my wife will be like, oh, if you're on the road, like it must be so nice. And I'm like, yeah, but no, like what people don't realize, like you and I know this, like Joe and I talk at like 6:30 in the morning when we're both on the road at the same time because we're both up and running to airports or stuff. But for the most part, like it's not like I could just go down to the bar and be like, hey, because like I talked to a group of girls. What is that? You know, that's like I'm trying to hit on them. Where's that going to lead? Just going to get me in trouble. And if you go up to like a group of guys and just like, hey guys, what's up? They're going to be like, who the hell are you? You know, like people don't want a new person just invading their space. So it's not like you just walk around hanging out with people. Like, so it's not that easy. And unless like I make a lot of friends at work, you know, like that's where majority of my friends come from. I have 40 people just in the social studies department alone. And like, you know, 90% of them are men about my age, you know? So it's real easy to just like bullshit about sports and whatever, you know? But other than that, where would I make friends? The supermarket?
Yeah.
And
like a lot of my friends are comics now too.
Yeah.
So
because that's
like
your
you have
circle.
a common thing. Yeah, you're right. But you're not a contractor.
No, but like this guy's business is like being in houses. So that's where he makes his friends, maybe. He told me he never had a friend quite like me.
No, he didn't. No, I can picture you like a little kid. Hey, your job is being in houses. I have a house. Let's be friends.
I did tell Melissa once because he came to fix my tub and he was in the tub and I didn't want to just leave him up there. I felt bad. So I was sitting on the toilet bowl. So you got in the tub. No, I was sitting on the toilet bowl talking to him while he was in the tub. So I told Melissa, this part's not true. I told Melissa, I go, and then we were talking and he reached out of the tub and he put his fingers on my lips and he told me, shh, say no more. And Melissa believed me. She thought I was telling the truth. She's like, why did he do that? He touched your lips? I was like, yeah, but it was just a joke. I was like, it was a joke. And she's like, that's not funny. Like, she's like, why would he do that? And I was like, I don't know.
Jasper, time we should leave like rose petals up the staircase after he leaves, and like then you leave and come back and be like, I don't know, like how this happened, like what's going on. He must have known
it. Listen, it's not that weird to me. It's very normal. I mean, you guys, the more we've done this podcast, the more all I am is being called out for not being normal. That's everyone's comments.
No, you are normal. It's your normal.
Yes, but everyone's comments are, I don't understand how Gasper's so calm about these and Joe's always freaking out.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to cut to a commercial break, but you, the people, are going to go to YouTube and you're going to tell us in the YouTube comments right now, is this normal for Gasper to be friends with these people? What is your take? We're not deciding. The only one to judge me is above me. Holla. All right, we're back. Hey. We asked you guys last week, we wanted to we're trying to find the highest and the lowest paid teachers in the country. And we did. We found some really high highs and we found some really low lows. These are the highest and the lowest that we received. So
yeah, and guys, we got a lot of emails. So if you the event that you were higher or a little lower, we're sorry. There was so many like beyond, and it's awesome. And thank you guys so much for participating. We don't want you to feel slighted if you said yours was 58 and we said the highest was 59 or 57, like just bear with us. We're two people running this show.
I have to say this too, Gaspare, teachers are the worst listeners in the world. Like we put on our Instagram stories that we were looking for the highest and the lowest. And I specifically had it and I bolded it and I said, send your email with this information to the social studies podcast at gmail.com. Hundreds of DMs still.
Hundreds. Yeah.
Hundreds of DMs. I'm like, I have about 4 pages of emails and then hundreds of DMs. So to be honest with you guys, I didn't even go through the DMs because you didn't listen to directions. So.
And I did because I'm the teacher who doesn't listen to directions. So I felt like I resonated more with that.
Well, is the one that you got a DM or an email?
A DM.
Jesus Christ, Gas.
I got a lot of DMs about
You're rewarding people for not doing it correctly.
Listen.
Well, hey, they're listeners. We love them.
So, all right, you want to start high or low? Do we start
I think we should start high. This one's really interesting. This is definitely one of the highest that I got. And there's a little trick in here, too, that I have for you. Washington State, 10 years of experience. My salary is $104,000.
Which is good.
Here's the kicker. This person has an email signature at the bottom of her email, and she teaches in the school district that I used to teach in when I taught in Washington.
So that could have been you, Joe.
Kind of, but also like I felt really bad. Oh shit, my old teaching partner listens to this. Sorry, girl. She and I had been teaching for, how did this work? Something happened where we had been teaching for the same, something happened where I think she or somebody else in the building came into this is what it was. It was somebody else in the building. They came into the district from a different district too. And so did I. And I was granted my years of service and they came in at base pay.
Okay.
And I heard them talking about this and I just I never told them that I was granted my years and they weren't. I got my years because I asked for it. She didn't even ask for it.
I can't even comprehend that outside of New York City, that you guys even have the slightest amount of say. That blows my mind. I'm going to go to a new district and negotiate a contract. I don't know. It's always crazy to me because it's in New York, it is what it is. Look up anyone in New York City's salary. It just goes by years of service, educate. There's no any of this other stuff. It's crazy because sometimes I'll hear people say oh, I went to another town because the contract was better. That's crazy to me. Because
when I don't even know where another town would be. Really go. Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't even be a thing. There is no other town.
But wait, that can't be entirely true because we had different salary. Oh, you're talking in New York City.
New York City, not New York State.
City. I got it. So I guess
I can only teach in New York City.
Right. Wait. You couldn't teach in another city in the state of New York?
Well, I guess you're right. I guess I could because my certificate is for New York State.
The state,
but
right.
New York City teachers make so much more than New York State teachers.
Then why would you? Right.
But you would if I wanted to not pay ridiculous taxes and live in a city that's crappy. I would go upstate New York to, let's say, Buffalo and say, okay, I'll
make half
make
of
less,
what you make.
But I'll pay less for things, and I'll live a more comfortable, relaxing life.
Right, for sure. When I got here to Seattle, my mind was blown at how well they pay on this side of the state. It was whoa, holy shit, crazy. My first ever.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. What? Go for it.
No, go.
My first ever teaching salary was $34,000. And I remember when I first got my first paycheck, I like showed it to my mom and I was like, I think this is wrong. And she just laughed at me. After taxes, union fees, and everything else, my first paycheck was like 3 numbers, and the first number was not a 9.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? Yeah,
my first year of teaching in New York City was $45,000.
Wow.
But I was living at home, and I was like, okay, and I basically banked that year $30,000. Like, after taxes was like came out to, let's say, $28,000. I barely spent it. I lived at home. I ate at home. Whatever I spent, I spent. So it was pretty nice. But like now looking at it, I'm like, that's hard. Like it'd be hard to live on that now. But also I'm in a very different situation because kids and a house. But
dual income, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just crazy. Like this is why people in New York City have roommates and and work multiple jobs and all that stuff, because I think a starting teacher in New York City now is 65.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's 65.
Wow, ballin'.
And then by like year 10, you're at like 90.
Now, this is what's so corrupt with the system, right? When I was out of college, I had I remember I was in a wedding, and like all the other guys who were in the wedding were joking around, and one of them joked. They're like, yeah, like so-and-so over here. He wasn't talking about me. He was like talking about someone else. Like, he's over here balling on like $47,000 a year. And everyone like laughed. And I was like, fuck, I make like $15,000 less than that. But
it's crazy.
Then I had a friend's little brother get a job the same year that I got a job. He made $75,000 a year, and I was making 34. And I was like, this is so fucked up. But if you think about it, Gaspare, okay, first year teachers are fucking terrible. And I can say that because I was one. Listen, I look back and I think about my first class ever, and all I want to say is, I'm sorry, you probably can't even do long division. It's trial by fire, right?
It is, but that don't mean you deserve to get paid shit.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying, look at that first year teacher salary. Now, an experienced adult who has like worked in the world and has like lived life outside of college will make a better teacher, right? You agree with me?
Yeah.
That person's never going to be a first year teacher because that person's going to say, fuck you to $34,000.
Yeah, you're right. And
So
what's
it's like-
crazy is like, I wonder if like, it's really sad. Like, and I mean, I am a teacher still, so like I could say this, like, it is sad how they undervalue and underappreciate. And I don't want to become like a podcast that we're like advocating for teacher pay and all that stuff. Like, what? I'm just saying, I don't want to do that. But like, I don't really, if you want to get, I don't know. I just don't want to be, Joe's dying over here coughing. I don't, but not to get all like sad about it, but it's the reality. It's just really sad that people, like, you're expected to teach and you're responsible for 30 human beings every day.
Life.
You determine their future. You determine, like, you could give them a bad kindergarten experience that will make them never want to go to school and start their life in a shitty way. Like, my son's teachers are so good that he wakes up every morning excited to go to school. And I hope he has that forever. You know what I mean? Like, and I pray he does or whatever. But it really makes you think, like, at that price, you're right. Like, what adult would be like, yeah, I'm going to lower my standards? Because, yes, first-year teachers do suck. But I bet a first-year accountant's not that great while they're still trying to figure out how to use the calculator. But yet, they're still making $80,000.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this, though. A first-year accountant is not responsible for human life.
Agreed. I agree 100%. Yeah. So,
which is crazy.
And like, I don't know. It's sad. It is.
It is sad.
So, well, let's get to, is cost of living really high in Washington State?
Depends on where you're at. Like here in Seattle, it's insane. I swear to God, every city that I go, Gaspare, I went out to dinner. Where was I last weekend? In Atlanta. Okay. I had a drink. I had a beer. I had, first of all, it was so funny. It was so Southern. I'm like, I want to eat Southern food. So I went to this really cool Southern place. It was called Southern Southern Kitchen or Southern something kitchen, something like that, right? And the two things on the menu that I wanted were fried chicken or shrimp and grits. And I asked the woman, because I was sitting at the bar, I was by myself. I said, what should I get, the fried chicken or the shrimp and grits? She goes, baby, the shrimp and grits is good, but the fried chicken keeps the lights on. I was like, I'll take the fried chicken. Got the fried chicken. It was amazing. I had fried green tomatoes with that also. No dessert. What do you think? Drink, entree, appetizer. Price me out. What do you think?
In Atlanta, because Atlanta's a big city,
Yeah.
I'm going to say $28.
Really? Your New York gas is going to say $28.
Well, because I'm assuming you're going to say it's low.
Oh, right. Right. But like, had you have not used logic, what would you say? Like, what would that cost you in New York?
Forget it. In New York, the drink would have been 15.
Right.
The chicken would have been $25 at Applebee's.
Right.
The Fiesta Lime chicken at Applebee's with a side of garlic mesh is $22.50. So I'm assuming if you're talking about a good chicken, it's probably $30-$40. So right there, you're at 55. And then what was the other thing you said? Fried potatoes?
Fried green tomato.
I don't know what those are. Fried
those
tomatoes?
are called French fries. Fried green tomatoes.
I forgot about the fried green tomatoes. Okay, whatever that is. I'm going to say it's a side, probably $12. So I'm going to say $60.
Right. You would love that. Also, quick question before I actually tell you. Is an Applebee's in New York, like, or Seattle or Chicago more or LA more expensive than an Applebee's in like Omaha?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, because so you guys, you remember the 2 for $20?
Yeah. You didn't have it.
They got rid of it. Well, we had it, but then it became like the 2 for $24 and then the 2 for $28. And then it's like, oh, if you want to add the steak, add $8 to your 2 for $20. So it was still 2 for $20, but plus 8. I tell you how I used to get the free meals at Applebee's?
Yes, Jesus. Wait, no, you didn't tell me how you got the free meals.
Yeah, I used to, at the end of the night, they'd be like, all right, we sent the custodian, got the janitor, bless you, home. If anyone goes in and cleans the toilet bowl, we'll give you a free meal. I was like, yeah, whatever. I would go in with the mop, dip it in, and just slap the shit out of the whole bathroom. Water everywhere, the toilet, the mirror, the sink. I'd come out, I'd be like 2 for $20. I'd order the 2 for $20. I would eat a whole meal and bring another meal home and eat it for breakfast. It was great.
That is great.
So
I paid.
All right, so how much was this? Yeah.
In Seattle, I would have also paid like 50, at least $50 right, for all that. In Atlanta, I paid $37. Like I was like, what?
But
like,
that's not. But is that? I mean, I would say that's about right because
for normal prices, we live in expensive ass cities.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So when you're in Kentucky, if you happen to stumble across Hodgeville, Kentucky, and you go to this diner on the side of a road
where Abe Lincoln used to have breakfast.
Yeah. So I went to this diner. I went with my wife. We were dating at the time, so we were in love. We went and we went and it was a cheeseburger. This one she used to eat gluten, so she was more fun. So we would get we got 2 cheeseburgers.
Celiacs are gonna come after your ass for that one.
No. I mean, she's fun as a person, I guess. She just was more fun of an eater. Celiac sucks. We don't even have bread in our house. It's a depressing life. At work, sometimes they put bread in my drawer as a joke.
What about pasta?
We eat gluten-free pasta. We eat gluten-free everything.
You eat garbanzo bean pasta?
No, it's gluten-free pasta. It's just, it's the brand is, Rosani or whoever, and they make a gluten-free pasta. It's actually not bad, but it doesn't reheat well the next day.
Mm.
And it falls apart easy. It's a little stringy.
Shit.
So whatever.
Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
So we went to the diner. It was 2 cheeseburgers, 2 sides of like French fries, and 2 milkshakes. So the lady comes with the bill, and the bill was $12.
Were you two just like, what?
Wait. So I said to her, I said, oh, we don't want separate checks. And she was like, for what? And I'm like, I'm like, wait, because I'm not talking like a McDonald's cheeseburger. This was like a diner cheeseburger, a diner fries, and a diner milkshake. This was like, I felt like we were in the 50s. I was like, are you sure? And then like we left her at 20 because I was like, we would have paid way more than that. So like I left her at 20 because it was $12, $8 tab. I think she retired right after I handed her the bill. Like she was like, holy shit. Like, are you sure? I'm like, oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Where was that? Hodgeville,
Kentucky. Hodgeville. I'll send you all the links to it.
Whenever I have family come to a show, I always pick up their table and then tip their server. So like if you're my family and you come to my show, like you're taken care of, right? Or send out a round of shots if it's like my cousins or whatever. So hold on. We got a guest on the podcast. Hold on, you're on the podcast. I did it in North Carolina because Morgan's mom and dad and sister and brother-in-law came to the show. I bought all their drinks, got the bill back, and I was like, this is under $100. What are you talking about? This is like that North Carolina prices.
Yeah, it's nice. Who's
Mom,
the guest?
I'm on with Gaspare Randazzo. You're on the Social Studies podcast.
Hi, Gaspare.
Hi, Fran. How's everything?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
I hear you perfect.
He can hear you, but you can't hear him because we got headphones on.
I can't hear him.
Well,
Well, you
that's
guys,
all right.
I was just getting home from the election polls.
Oh, yeah, she worked the election polls today.
Oh, good.
From
She
you
did her
like
civic duty for the United States of America.
I sure did. So I'm just heading home now.
Oh, great. Good for you. Hey, real quick, before you hang up, how much would like a cheeseburger and a beer cost in Michigan?
At like a diner.
Maybe $8.
Oh.
Maybe 10 now.
Oh, shit. All right, cool. All right, well, thanks for joining us. You've been a great guest.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. You know, it's funny that your mom called because let's talk about something real quick. So this weekend I did shows and I brought my mom and my mom's
God.
my mom's going to be listening. So I called you after to tell you how I brought my mom because I know you always run into these things with your mom at shows. So of course my mom, right before the show, this was the first time that my mom ever saw me like headline a big show. So it was like kind of cool, you know, like she was like, oh my God, all these people are here to see you. And I'm like, oh, my, all right, shh. Like, don't talk too loud about it. And like, we went to it was in a hotel. Well, it was a comedy club in a hotel. So we're sitting in the restaurant in the hotel, and every guest who walked in to the hotel, my mom was like, oh, I think they're here to see you. Oh, they're looking at you. They're looking over here. Hi, that's my son. Yep, that's my son. And I'm like, Mom, they're not looking over here. They're guests. They're looking at the restaurant menu. Like, they want to eat. And then sure enough, like the line, you know, it was a great show, whatever. And the line was pretty long. It opened at like 6:30 and it sold out. So my mom was literally walking up and down the line saying to people like, oh, my son, this is my son's show. You know, he just sold the club out. That's my son. Yep. Do you guys know him? You want to meet him? You want to talk to him? Like, and I was like, no, Ma, shh, don't ask people. Like, I'll talk to everybody after the show. I was like, because like, if I come out now, it's kind of weird. I was like, you know, I'm going to like say hi to them. And then, you know, and she's like, oh, I'll sneak you. My mom's 4'11". Like, my mom's like, get behind me. We'll walk fast. She's like holding up her bag like Carmen Sandiego in a trench coat. And I'm like, Ma, and then she's like, make sure you eat protein before
That's
you go
what
on
your
stage.
mom says that my mom says almost every, you got to eat,
Yeah.
I'll tell her what I had for breakfast. If I'm like, I had a bagel, she's like, no, you need protein.
Yeah.
Also, why I made my mom from New York when I did that impression just now, I don't know.
You need protein, baby.
She
Yeah,
did it.
she's like, you got to eat chicken. I'm like, Ma, I got a routine. I'm eating healthy now. I got to eat salad with the esophagus.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you don't. Did you take vitamins today? I'm like, I've never taken vitamins. So why would I start today? Should I be extra hyper? And then I'm like, Mom, when I start this specific story, if you want to know a story, you got to come to the show and see. If I was like, Mom, when I start this story, get up and go outside because you're going to set up my merchandise table. So
Your mom sold your merch for you?
My mom sold my merch for me.
Hell yes. Okay, Fran is listening to this right now, and she's probably called me already. The phone is ringing. Fran's new goal is to work for me.
Oh, that's
And
good. That's a good goal.
she's-
My mom too. She wants to be my
Gasper,
manager.
She
and
can't
tour with
even
me.
she can't even open Gmail on her phone. This is the same woman who constantly texts bullshit in group texts about the people who are in the group text because she thinks she's just texting me. This is the woman who falls for internet scams at the drop of a hat. She doesn't even know how to work technology. How the hell is she going to work for me?
That should be the clip.
But she literally wants to work for me. She keeps trying to invent jobs for herself. She's like, so how much could I make if I did your flights? I can handle your travel, most likely. Get your hotels, make sure you're in some good ones. And then if you need me to be at the show to run around and get your food or your coffee or whatever you need, I'm like, okay, so you want to be my assistant is what you're saying. And second, no.
Yeah, like my mom's like, I could be a manager. I'm really good at this. I'm like, but you didn't do anything yet. You're just here with me at the show. She's like, but I talk to people. So anyway, so while I'm on stage, I go, Mom, when I start the Lincoln story, you get up and head to that back door, get to the merch. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell you guys one final story. It's about my favorite president, Abe Lincoln. I hear my mom, yeah. Yeah, tell it. She's like yelling, all excited. She's like, I was excited. I'm like, great. So I'm watching her while I'm telling the story, not moving. I'm like, and then guess what happened? I was like, guess what happened? And we're coming right to the end here. So guess what happened? Looking right at her. And she's like, tell us what happened. I'm like, oh God. So I just finished the story. And then as I was up on my final where she realized, she got up and ran to the back and set it up. But she's she's like, I could definitely be your manager. This is a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm like, what part of it was fun? Just hanging out with me was fun. No, but I had fun hanging out with her. I always loved hanging out with my mother.
Me too. Before we get to the lowest paid teacher,
yes,
I do have an idea for you, and we got to figure out how we're going to do this. For the Mother's Day episode of the podcast, I have 2 ideas. One, we can just set it up and let our moms do an episode. We just set it up and they're there instead of us, and that's
oh
they
my
get that
God.
And just
we don't
see
even
what
tell
happens.
them. We don't even tell them. We'll tell them they're going to be on.
Too late.
Oh yeah.
They're watching. They're too late. Okay, they do it. They do the podcast, or we split the podcast in half, and you talk to my mom for a half an hour, and I talk to your mom for a half an hour.
Ooh, that's
I know.
nerve-wracking.
Oh, put it in the YouTube comments.
So
Tell us in the YouTube comments what we should do.
I like you hanging out with my mom, me hanging out with your mom, and we just straight up ask them questions about you or me. That's fun. Or just a dual episode where we're all on talking, but it might get crazy because my mom's a talker, your mom's a talker,
so
I'm a talker,
we are talkers.
you're a talker. So
that'd be nuts.
It would also be real funny to just have them both in the Zoom and we just never zoom in. we don't have to tell them which one.
Part of me wants to throw them in with nothing.
That's what I'm saying. And the truth
part
is,
of me wants to give them prompts.
They won't know. We could talk about it right now. They're not going to know which one we pick behind the scenes. So
true.
We could say that we're doing that. We could say we're doing this.
And I got to say this before this goes any farther. You two, listen to me. Do not find each other on Instagram, which I'm sure you already have. Get out of each other's DMs. Don't start planning this yet, because I know you two are going to start writing each other. Did you hear what Gaspare and Joe said on the podcast last week? And you're going to start. And next thing you know, we're going to start getting texts in the middle of the day saying, we got an idea. We want to do... And no.
My mom already has an idea she's talking about.
We're deciding. Deciding.
The only issue with just throwing them into the fire is, I'll tell you right now, my mom will never be able to figure out how to even start talking.
Oh, Gaspare, I should record attempting to do my podcast with my mom, just so you can watch
weekly.
it.
She can't get it down yet.
It's weekly for 2 years and she still can't get it down yet. It's insane. I'm literally like, yep, press start, and then my phone rings. She'll FaceTime me from her phone so I can see her screen.
Wait, did I ever tell you when Melissa's cat, I told you Melissa's cat had the mechanical penis, right? The robot penis? You know what I'm talking about? What?
You've never told me.
I told you about this.
You've never told me this. You've never told me this.
When my wife and I were dating, her cat was like a freaking jaguar. It was huge. All of a sudden, the cat was crying one day. What? The cat was crying one day. She brought him to the vet. He had crystals in his urethra. They had to break his penis apart, and they ended up giving him a pipe. He had a robotic penis installed into his body, and it was helping him pee. And then a few weeks later, he died. It got clogged up. The crystals jammed up. It cost us freaking $5,000. We paid it off up until last year. Anyway,
oh shit!
Yeah, this is 10 years ago, so it's fine. My mom, when all this happened, texted in a group like to me and Melissa. She's like, "I heard about your cat. LOL." She thought it meant lots of love.
Lots of love.
And it's funny because it's like, I mean, to be fair, like she did. I was at work and I was like, listen, I had just gotten hired as a teacher. I was like, I can't take off because your cat's penis is broken. And at the time, we just thought the penis was busted. We didn't know he was going to die. So my mom actually went with Melissa. We were just dating at the time. My mom hates cats because she's really allergic. My mom ended up in the it's really sad. She ended up
in the ER?
In the ER because Melissa couldn't watch and they put the cat to sleep and my mom was in the room. Keep in mind, we're just dating at the time. Imagine like your mom with some random boyfriend because like my track record wasn't great of long relationships. So my mom probably was like, here's another girl that he's going to date. And then all of a sudden, like my mom's at the vet with her. And my mom's putting her cat to sleep for her and then sending out LOL to everybody.
And then your mom goes into the ER.
Well, my mom went with her and then Melissa's like, I can't be in the room. So my mom like held the cat's hand when they put the cat down. And my mom's like, I don't even know this cat. I don't even know this girl.
What was the cat's name?
Judy B.
No.
Forget it. It was Jude, like, hey, Jude. Then it became Judy B.
Yeah, like Mac's name is Mackinac, but we call him Mac. But more often than anything, I call him Little Poop. I don't know.
Wait, his name is Macarob?
Mackinac.
What?
Mackinac.
What word are you saying? I'm just not understanding the word. Mackinac?
Mackinac. Have you ever heard of Mackinac Island?
No. Where is that?
The tip of Michigan. And there's a famous bridge, the Mackinac Bridge, which connects the lower and upper peninsula. Mackinac Island, Gaspare. It's like a step back in time. You can't drive a car on it. There's no cars on the whole island.
So did you ever hear of Fire Island?
Sure fucking did.
All right, well, that's a very famous island. Did you ever hear of Randall's Island?
Yeah.
Also a famous island. All right, you can't go by New York City islands because they're all famous. How about Rikers Island?
Sure have. I'm not going to even say it.
Anyway.
Listen. There's been like documentaries about Mackinac Island, and there's like a lot of history there. Mackinac. And then also look up Fort Michilimackinac. Look up all this shit. It's all this war stuff that you're going to love. I'll take you there.
M-A-C-K.
I-N-A-W. Yeah. Mackinac.
Oh,
Mackinac.
Sounds cool.
Anyway, his name's Mackinac after the Mackinac Bridge, blah, blah, blah. But for short, we call him Mac. And then more often than that, I call him Little Poop.
Similar to my daughter.
The lowest paid teacher in the United States.
All right. So I actually got this email today at 6:40 in the morning. She said, hey, I emailed you guys, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So she said, last year was my first year as a teacher. I was in Nebraska. I was paid $19,500. $19,500. She said,
is she an aide or something? Or is she a full-time classroom teacher?
No, she said she was a teacher. Oh, all right. Backtrack.
Part-time.
It was a fellowship program. But still, you're still a teacher as a fellow. I don't know how it works. I don't know what a fellow is.
I don't understand. So she was a full-time teacher, but because it was a fellowship program, she didn't make the full salary of what an actual full-time teacher would make.
She then said, I ate ramen every day, but now I have my master's. It's much better. When I finally got my master's, I got $49,000. So I
Your
guess
second
maybe
year?
what, I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess it has to be now. So I guess without a master's, she was making $20,500.
But I'm so curious. I'm so curious as to like if that's only because she was in this fellowship program or if that's what they pay a first-year teacher there.
I don't know.
Let's, for excitement, say that that's what Nebraska pays their first-year teachers.
It just doesn't seem practical.
But you know there's worse. I had friends who started in 2011 in North Carolina, made like literally $22,000.
Yeah, like that's, I mean, but what's crazy is like in New York City, you can't even go to the mall and get a pretzel. A pretzel, you know what Aunt Annie's is? You know, do you guys have Aunt Annie's?
Yes.
Oh, you do? I don't know.
Yes.
We don't have Bojangles. So,
Well, we don't either, but we travel. Did you have Bojangles when you were in North Carolina?
yeah, didn't I tell you I ate Roundies or something?
Roundies? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Rounders. They were like these little.
Oh my God.
balls.
I did find the lowest paid teachers just now. We literally just got this email in. And so funny, it also happens to be Nebraska.
Okay, so maybe it's just Nebraska's where it's.
I teach in Omaha, Nebraska. This is my second year of teaching, but last year, which was my first year, I was
Is this the same
paid.
person? This is the same exact story.
Oh, she
my
did say
second year
that
of teaching and my first.
I was paid $19,500. I teach first grade. Yeah, is that right?
All right. It might. Yeah, that's her.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, there
right,
we go.
well, you might or might not be the lowest paid teacher in America last year.
This also another person. This is crazy, Gaspare. This person at 16 years of service is still only making 62 in Michigan. In Michigan.
Oh. How's
23.
Michigan
I found the real highest. 23-year third grade teacher in Central California. I have my master's degree in ed technology. My current salary is $114,902.
Yeah, so in New York City, if you get to 25
the pay is good. The micromanagement is horrible.
Oh, that's about everywhere. If you get in New York City, if you make it to like year 25, I want to say you're at like 125, 130.
Yeah.
Woo. And if you become like an administrator in your first year, you're at like 120, 125. So a lot of people, like when they hit that certain plateau, you know, like people like, oh, you should go into admin. They're like, why?
Yeah,
why? I make what an admin makes without any of the headache that an admin has.
I know. I wish that I like saw the light before I actually chose that. Here I am, really putting that admin degree into good use. Okay, before we end, I did get one email that I think I want to read to you before we part, if that's okay. It's directed to you mainly. The title of this email is Gag It Over Here with the pill emoji. Here we go. Hi, guys. I'm a huge fan of Joe Dombrowski, so I always wanted to listen to your podcast, but I'm not really a podcast kind of girl, but here I am listening. Anyway, I wasn't feeling my Lizzo station on Pandora this morning since I have a horrible sinus infection and can't enjoy singing along, so I clicked on your episode of Young Old People or something like that. It was fun, but I died listening to the conversation about Gaspare having issues swallowing pills. Oh my God, he is me. Growing up in the Midwest and still stuck here, actually, I have been tortured with the worst allergies possible. For real, I had to take 2 capsules, the pill with the little balls inside of them, every day as a child. I gagged. I threw them up. My mom would make me keep trying to swallow them even when they got sticky and wet in the special pill training cup. I couldn't do it. She eventually opened them up and poured them into applesauce. I can't eat applesauce to this day. It's her fault. My husband dry swallows pills, and my teenage children taunt me as I still struggle every day to swallow pills. I'm gagging while writing this, actually. I made them all listen to this part of the podcast so they know that it's not just me. Whenever I go to the doctors and they give me medicine, I will always ask what it looks like because the struggle is just so real. I am so relieved to know that I am not the only medication challenged adult in this world. I feel your pain, Gaspar. Gagging just thinking about gagging just thinking about capsules over here. I kept saying gasples, like Gaspar and capsules.
Well, thank you. You're not alone. And honestly, it's embarrassing because like I'll say to the doctor, like, before they prescribe medicine, I'm like, well, what are we talking here? And they're like, pills. I'm like, tell me when to stop. Like, getting bigger, smaller, with my fingers. And they're like, oh, it's just a pill, like grow up. And I'm like,
what?
Would you tell someone with celiac, it's just a little bread, eat it? I have a problem. My esophagus is broken.
Sir, my esophagus is cracked, and I will not tolerate this type of diminishing behavior.
But that drives me nuts because they're always like, "Oh, you'll get it down." I'm like, actually, I won't. So it looks like
you're gonna shove it in my ass for me. What's going on?
Of course, that's my brother. He's like, ask for a suppository. He's like, ask for something to show up your ass. You'll like that. I'm like, got me. But I don't know how to do that either. I have, Father, please. I have an embarrassing story. One time, oh my God, I don't even know if I should. My mom's gonna get mad at me.
Need it. Too late. Need it.
All right. One time, I don't remember what was wrong with me. I had to take
before you even do this to your mom. When they get on the podcast, they can talk about all the times that I've horribly embarrassed my mom with the stories that I've told. Real bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Keep going.
No, this isn't embarrassing to her. She's just gonna be like, "Why would you say that?" I had to take a suppository, the one up the butt, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what that is. The suppository is never for your mouth.
Oh, I don't know. So I was like, "Ma, I can't."
You didn't.
I was like 14, 15. I was like, Ma, I can't do it. She's like, you got to lay on your side. You got to lift your leg a little. You got to put one leg up, cross your legs, do this, do that. I was like, she's like, let your body just absorb it. And I was like, what the fuck? So I couldn't do it. So my brother's like, just put it on a chair and bounce up and down on the chair till it goes up. So I tried it, and I just sat on a chair naked, just bounced it until the pill. It never did. It didn't do anything. I don't know how the fuck it would have. And my brother's like, "You're a fucking dumbass."
Let me tell you what, the cable guy, the contractor, and the energy guy are all loving this part of the story.
Well, they saw firsthand.
What a great... What a great spot to end. Hey, you guys, thanks for listening to the Social Studies Podcast. As always, I have tons of dates coming up. Get your tickets at MrDtimes3.com and
GaspareRandazzo.com. That's Jaspare Randazzo. That's RANDAZZO.com. Whole bunch of shows coming up.
Keep writing to us in the comments on YouTube. We love hearing from you. Leave us a 5-star review with a nice little message on Apple Podcasts. We love when you guys do that. You've been blowing it up.
Send some stories in so we can read them next week.
Send stories about anything.
Yeah, because sometimes Joe and I run out of things to talk about.
Never true. Thanks for listening, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.